Why would anyone in their sober mind leave the US, the so-called American dream, for a small island in the Philippines? Everybody talks about cost of living, and yes, for me that's very important. We all have to deal with that, and I'm sure it's important for you as well, but trust me, for me, it goes way beyond that. Living in America feels like running in a treadmill. You're sweating, you're working hard, but it feels like you're just staying in the same place. On the other hand, the Philippines feels like stepping on an open road. Every step you take actually takes you somewhere. I lived 2+ years in the Philippines, and trust me, every day felt like an adventure. I've heard a lot of foreigners say that eventually it gets old, and I get it. But I think that really depends on your lifestyle. A lot of foreigners call the US a pressure cooker. Makes you work until you can't no more. We all seem to fall in the same pothole. The stress, the grind, the debt cycle. In the US, it seems like everybody's in a big mall where everybody's buying, but nobody's smiling. In the Philippines, it feels like being in a local market. Noisy, messy, but full of life. I've always seen my country, the US, as the country for opportunity. I do believe that. I do believe that because here, anybody can be rich. That is the truth. Even if we are not, you have that opportunity. Can't really say that in other countries. But at the end of the day, that's not what we're all looking for anymore. That's not my priority. I don't seek money anymore. I just want peace and a simple life. Time is the most precious commodity you've got. And no matter how much money you stack, you're not buying 1 second back. Not a single one. In a blink, 20 to 30 years just flash in front of you. But the beauty of it is, as long as you have time, you can still make it count. A lot might think that it's too late, but I don't think so. Europe, Canada, United States, just leaving their countries and going to the Philippines. It's not just because of the cost of living, but because of the experience they can get. Most of the people that leave their countries to go explore their life in the Philippines are retiring. America gives you cars, gadgets, gives you jobs, but at what cost? If it steals your hours, and your hours equals life. The Philippines gives you sunsets that feel different, conversations. Feels like you get your hours back. I'm not leaving America because I hate it. I'm leaving because I found something worth more than money. Don't let me lie. For a lot of us foreigners, living in the Philippines goes beyond cost of living. It's not just about being able to live a better life for less money. Awesome. And it's not just about being able to enjoy an exotic scenery every single day. Awesome. It goes beyond that. Let me give you an example. I love sparkling water. Did you guys see the text that I added in the earlier part of the video? Well, the question was very simple. Who was the smart individual that decided for all of us that we can start living our life after 60, 65? That's insane. And what bothers me is that we all accepted that. We all said it's okay. Anyways, when you're in the Philippines, your brain is more focused on other things, experiencing life the way we should actually. You don't always have a phone in your hand. I could care less, unlike here, right? I can't deny, I have my phone in my hand all day. We all do, always scrolling on our phones 24/7 before we sleep and all that. I'm not saying that technology and social media, cell phones are not important in the Philippines. Of course they are. They're part of our life now. We all live in the internet, but it's different. Hey, if you're finding value in the video, or maybe you're just listening to all the crazy things I have to say, will you hit that like button for me? You mark the difference. This really helps. And subscribe if you're not yet. I'm gonna dare say the better lifestyle that you're living in the Philippines is not a priority anymore. I'm always vlogging, but I could care less because I was more connected with the experience that I was living with life. That alone there, guys, is a total no-brainer. That tells you a lot about how you're living your life. That's not all. Let me give you another one. And I bet you that a lot of you are living the exact same way. Here in America, you could be living next to your neighbor for, let's say, 5 years. Don't let me lie. You don't even know their freaking name. How is that even possible? In the Philippines, on the other hand, you could meet a stranger and within an hour, that stranger is already offering you food in their table. I mean, if that's not meaningful to you guys, I don't know what to say. It's just a more real, fulfilling lifestyle. Hey, let me know in the comments if you value this. This makes a difference in your life. For me, it certainly does. It just makes me feel more connected. I read all the comments. And of course, we're not just gonna overlook the fact that one of the most attractive reasons to live in the Philippines for foreigners is because of the cost of living. The fact that you can live a better life, the life that you would love to live in your country, in the US, UK, Europe, wherever you're coming from. Hey, and it's not just retirees. Nowadays, it's even digital nomads, those who have the ability to work from their computer from anywhere in the world. And I totally feel that. It's like, why not? I mean, who would be the smart one to complain about their dollar or their euro just going 2 extra miles for them? Listen, you want to hear this? Imagine that you're retiring after working your ass off for 60 to 65 years of your life, only to realize that you're gonna get around $1,000 a month. Yes, I know that varies a lot because for some is a lot more, and that is awesome. But I know a couple that just retired and they're only getting around $1,000+ a month. Not much more than that. That blows my mind. You want to know why? Well, very simple. If you've ever lived in the US, you already know how much rent could cost you, and that is easily over $1,000. Drop a comment if you're paying over $1,000 a month. Now that same $1,000 in the Philippines would give you at least 2.5 more miles of range. That's nuts. Been there, done that. And even though this is very controversial, I'm excited to say that I've lived in the Philippines for under $500. Facts. And yes, that does require some sacrifices. You wouldn't have air conditioner for your whole 31 days every month. And yes, a lot of you might need it because it actually gets freaking hot. Hey, but it's not like you have to sacrifice as much as you might think. As long as you're able to control your spending and have a normal lifestyle, $1,000 a month is enough money there. And no, I'm not saying like you're gonna live a rich life because I was able to live with $500. You're gonna think that, well, if you live with $500 decently, that means with $1,000 I'm gonna be rich. It's not that, but it's a good amount of money already. Now, this also depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to live. If you're all about that fast life, well, your money is gonna fly fast as well. And yes, with those $500, in case you're curious, I was paying rent, electricity, water, food, and even high-speed internet. I was living my life. Every time I touch this topic, somebody always drops a negative comment. They just don't want to accept the reality. It's cheaper over there. I have friends in the Philippines who have lived there for over 10 years. They've been there for so long that they've experienced through their own flesh the ups and downs. So they have the right to say that it was cheaper before, but it's still affordable. Fun fact, a dinner for 2 here in the US would most definitely buy me a week's worth of groceries in the Philippines. How about that? Living in America feels like fishing in a pond. Every hook you drop costs you around $100. It's expensive. In the Philippines, of course, you still have to work hard, but bait is affordable. There's something very unique about living in the Philippines, especially when you're living like in a province. Look, this is how I see it. You can spend your entire life at the same dock, throwing the line, investing in bait, expensive bait, and just hoping to get a bite. And it might never happen. Or you can sail to new waters and who knows, maybe discover something new, maybe discover something better. Well, I decide to sail. Time is more valuable, it's more precious to me now. I don't want to look back 25, 30, 35 years from now and then just live in regret and say, why didn't I take that step? Why didn't I risk it, right? Because everything is a risk. It's not like I go to the Philippines and I have the perfect life. I'm living in paradise. Yes, you might be able to live that life and there's a high chance that you are, especially if you're retiring or if you're a digital nomad. And that's what's so awesome about this, that people are doing that. It's proven, you know, and there's always gonna be a lot of people that are gonna say only the bad stuff, but there's also a lot of people out there that have an amazing life, an amazing experience, and maybe they just are enjoying their life and they don't have time to go through all this drama on the internet and waste their time just trying to make the country look bad because they didn't like it or because they didn't find what they were looking for. I mean, at the end of the day, just like life, this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Well, that's very surprising, right? But what if? What if you are happier? What if you do live a better life? Unfortunately, reality hits and there's people out there that never achieve the life that they were expecting. What's beautiful for me might not be beautiful for them, but it doesn't mean that it's not gonna be beautiful for you. I have my life planned. I'm leaving America and I'm going to the Philippines. Nothing's ever perfect, but this time I'm planning everything out. I'm going back to the Philippines because that's where I'm happy and that's where I feel alive. This goes beyond the cost of living. This is more about the cost of not living. Hey, but before packing your bags, buying the ticket, and flying to the Philippines, there's 6 things that you must know that nobody told me before going to the Philippines, and I really want you to know, and you will see it here. But guess what? Number 5 will make you quit. Number 5 makes foreigners quit. Game over.